Then they said, "What are we to do, that we may habitually be working the works of God? What are we to do to carry out what God requires?" Jesus replied, "This is the work, service that God asks of you, that you believe in the one whom he has sent, that you cleave to, trust, rely on, and have faith in his messenger." John 6:28 and 29. Today I want to look at the danger of focusing in on works versus the need of a submitted relationship with Christ, or righteousness by works versus righteousness by faith. Look at this list. Which of these works are good and which ones are not? Feeding someone who is hungry. 2, giving someone a flower. 3, going to church. 4, offering a ride to a stranded traveler. 5, smiling. 6, visiting the sick. 7, saying thank you and please and I beg your pardon. 8, taking a loaf of fresh baked bread to a neighbor. 9, donating money in the church. 10, sharing your faith. Not so much now, but back in the day at an airport or on the streets of downtown on a corner, a group of young people would be approaching individuals. They would smile and hand you a flower. Then he wanted you to give him money. And if you give him money, into whose pocket would that money disappear? It would go to the leader of a particular cult he represented. So are smiling and giving people flowers good actions or bad? In this inspirational book titled The Great Controversy, it has this statement: "The tempter often works most successfully through those who are least suspected of being under his control. The opinion prevails with many that all which appears like courtesy or refinement must in some sense pertain to Christ. Never was there a greater mistake. These qualities should grace the character of every Christian, for they would exert a powerful influence in favor of true Christianity. But they must be consecrated to God, or they are also a power for evil. Many a man of cultural intellect and pleasant manners, who would not stoop to what is commonly regarded as an immoral act, is but a polished instrument in the hands of Satan. So good manners are not proof in themselves. This is why God said to Samuel, 'Man looketh on the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart,' or the motive." Matthew 7:22, "Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, and driven out demons in your name, and done many mighty works in your name?' And then I will say to them openly, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you who work iniquity.'" The word iniquity foundationally means you had a crooked bent to self, or you worked from selfish motives. It's possible for an atheist to bake a good loaf of bread and share it with a neighbor. Worldly people who have no time for God can be concerned about world hunger and work to relieve it. It's possible for the infidel to visit the sick. Money can be donated to the church that God will not accept. Some who attend church are Satan's agents, not children of the Lord. The Pharisees shared their faith and brought in converts who were twice as wicked as themselves. See Matthew 23:15. Even a desperate criminal can offer a ride to a stranded traveler and use the opportunity to take advantage of the helpless. Good works done apart from Christ are bad works. In order for works to be good works, they must be done in the honor and glory of God, Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works, Jesus declared, Matthew 5:16. These good works will begin to appear when repentance and conversion take place. Not until then can words and works glorify your Father which is in heaven. Romans 14:2 says, whatsoever is not of faith is sin. When God judges, he looks upon the heart, the motives, the hidden agenda of the mind. If we are living apart from Christ, we have no choice but to be operating from a base of selfishness, and therefore our good works are not good works at all. It is true that if a person is starving and someone gives him a loaf of bread, he will be fed regardless of the motives of the one feeding him. But so far as the individual doing the giving is concerned, any good works that he performs apart from Christ are bad works. Christ living in the heart by faith and thus willing and doing in us is the only source of good works. Philippians 2:13. This is your host, Matthew Paris. I'm just sharing.